Daryl, trying to get everything caught up. About the time I went to go on just a minute ago, Chester pulled up. So,
Daryl,
what the world?
trying to get everything caught up. About the time I went to go on just
There, dang. About the time, like I said, about the time I went to go on, Chester pulled up, so I had to turn it off. Like I said, about the time I went to go on, Chester pulled up. Why don't we just keep talking? How's that? Let's see. Jane, what happened? Like I said, Chester pulled in, and I had to cut it off. But right as I went live, he pulled in. You were flyer first. Well, I was the only one. Oh, sorry, Daryl, I didn't see it. I thought I caught it before anybody come in. Olivia said, "Hi, hi, hello, Olivia." Daryl said, "Ha, ha." Jane said, "Hey, Daryl," and Daryl said, "Jane and Olivia." And Jane said, "Hey, Liv." Heck, I told Randy I was just about ready to just not do it. No more than, I got a few people to keep coming in, but with YouTube messing everybody around, we surely not having a lot of people like we were. But let's see. Olivia says, "Hi, hi, Jane. Hi, Mac. Hi." Gary says, "Hello, everyone." And Craig says, "How are you?" Doing well. This is my Friday, so I got a big day planned, or big weekend planned. Matter of fact, big all next week planned. I got a lot to do in the next 8 days. And next 7 days. Daryl said, matter of fact, I believe I did that wrong. Daryl said, Gary. Gary says, "Hey, Mac." Daryl said, "The dark gets shiny tonight on the premiere." Awesome. Jane says, "Hi, Gary." Maria says, "Hello, Skittle guy." Hello, Maria. Let's see. Gary says, "Hello, Jane." And Jane says, "Hi, Craig." I didn't even get a Skittle. I started to open it up. Somebody at work had some sugar cookies, and I grabbed a couple of them, so I figured if I ate a couple of Skittles, that'd probably throw my sugar too high, so I figured I'd wait. Jane said, "Craig." Jane said, "Maria." Craig said, "Hey, Jane." Maria says, "I'm eating a salad." I wouldn't believe that at all. Maria said, "Hi, Jane." Olivia said, "Gary." I would like to have a big old chef salad right now. That'd be good. So I imagine your salad's a little different. Your salad's probably just lettuce. Let's see. Daryl says, "Had to refresh. I thought I was watching a 60-second Chinese mirror." There you go. Gary said, "Hey, Ghost." I did go get my trailer pulled out the woods this morning, so I plan on going to get it tomorrow. If I thought Justin might be coming today, and I was going to get the generator and the air compressor loaded up, but I don't think he's going to be a no-show. So don't really know how I'm going to get it loaded by myself. I guess I do have a cherry picker. I can lift it up with that, but I got to figure out how to get the air compressor and the generator on there so I can get air to the tires and try to get it down the road. Gary says, "Hey, Ghost." Daryl says, "Awesome." And Olivia said, "Be right back." So how far is it? About, well, from here it's about an hour. It's all the way in Winston, and it's where I travel at work, but it's about an hour away. This is "I'm a hoe, yeah, yelling at your son." Maria said, "There's carrots, cucumbers, and squeeze some lemon on it, and add a cheese cube at the end." Oh, I've never squeezed lemon on a salad. I ain't never thought about that. But I didn't think of it. I ain't much of. Only way I eat carrots is if it's on. If I got some ranch to dip it in. I do like cucumbers. But the cube cheese is all right too. I ain't never tried the lemon though. That's kind of caught me off guard there. But anyway, let's see. Robert says, "Are you all right with Jesus?" Yes, we got a personal relationship. Jesus and myself, we do. Yes. Maria said, "So yummy, better than Skittles." That depends. Maybe not be healthier, but I don't know. I don't know about better. See, Pat says, do you have an El Camino? I do not. That's one vehicle I've never owned. Olivia says, go, not ho. Sorry. I was wondering, but okay. Daryl says, I'm not a rabbit. There you go. Pat says, Jesus loves El Caminos. El Caminos, okay. Maria said, lemon and salad is the best combo. I've never heard of that. That's different, I guess. Max says, hi. Hello, Max. And said, hey, hi. User said, Valco, Valco, whatever that means. Tiffany said, hi. Hello, Tiffany. Sonic said, hi. Maria said, where's Justin? I guess he's at home. I haven't heard from him. Max said, I'm 16. Well, welcome, Max. Sonic said, hi. And Jane said, hi, Tiffany. Maria says, I mean Team U Randy. Jane said, hi, Maxie. Is it Maxie or Max? It's Maxie. I'm sorry. I didn't even see the eye. Sorry about that. Carlos said, what's up, Pops? How you doing, Carlo? Whoop, whoop. Maxie said, question. All right. Fire away, long as it's clean. Robert said, it's soup and salad. I think putting the salad in your soup. Okay. Jane said, hi, Carlo. Sonic says, how are you? If I was doing any better, I'd have to sit on my hands to keep from waving at everybody. I hope you were doing good. Daryl said, I like salads, crisp lettuce, radish, tomato, cheese, cabbage, cucumbers, croutons. Just carrots have to taste. Mike says, how old are you? 56. Carlos says, hey, hello, Jane. Jane said, hi, Sonic. And Sonic said, LOL. She said, Sonic said, hi, Jane. He said, carrots have no taste. That's the reason I like ranch with them. It's kind of weird. I like a carrot to crunch, but I can't stand the onion mainly because they crunch. Maxie said, my grandpa is 72. Awesome. Corey says, hi, mate. And Daryl says, did you see the members video, Randy? What was the members video? Were you going to get the project? Yes. Maria says, yeah, I commented. You asked what was going to do. I commented on it. Maria said, you've been 56 for a very long time. When will that change? On my birthday. Daryl said, ranch and fresh dressing. Let's see. Sonic says, is there any memes banned in the chat? If we don't do politics, we don't do religion, we keep everything on a positive note. We don't do any kind of vulgar stuff or anything like that. But if you keep it clean and positive and don't talk down on everybody or anything, you're welcome to stay, and memes are fine. As long as, like I said, don't go crazy. And I try to read everybody's comments, so when people start doing crazy stuff, it's hard for me to keep up. Robert said, I'm 50-some too. Daryl said, awesome. I got it in the shop before I left tonight. Hello, Maria. Maria says, hello, Carlo. Daryl says, I forgot. Sorry, Randy, ain't no big deal. Muhammad is that hello from Pakistan. Hello. Robert said, right. Sonic said, so can I say 6'7"? That's up to you. I don't think there's nothing, as far as I know, 6'7" means absolutely nothing. So, Southern says, that ain't the same Southern I was thinking, I don't think. Said, are you a veteran? I am not. That picture was here when we bought the building. Jane said, welcome, Pakistan. Maria says, no, I did not think I could wait until your birthday. You're 60 now. Skip 4 years already. Lord have mercy. Daryl says, we're adults here. We don't play children's games, Sonic. That's right. We're here to have a good time. And it's, I know it's a joke for kids, but I don't get it. So, it's whatever. Gravier, I don't know. Hello from North Central, I don't know what that word is, but welcome. I do not know where it is, but I need to write it down because if it's legit, I need to put a pin in the world map for you. We do have a world map for everybody that comes in and tells us where they're at. We put a pin in for them. It'll take me a minute to find it, so I write it down and I'll find it or get one of my kids to find it. Let's see. Mom said, Jane, how old are you? Sonic said, oh, okay, and okay. Scully says 6'7" is a brain rot. Olivia says, okay, back. Olivia, Mike, don't say that. I'm an adult and I still play Sonic. I think he's talking about 6'7". I think that's what he's talking about. Carlos says, hello, Olivia Bell. And Southern says, you seem like you have a countenance of a man who served his country. I am proud of my country and I do represent it, but I did not serve. I've always stayed right here and worked here. Jane said, where is the north? I don't know. That's why I said I'd have to look it up, Jane. I have no clue. Sonic said, B-E-B. He might mean be right back. Mama said, Jane, are you a girl or boy? Jane's a girl, a lady, a woman. Olivia said, oops, I misread that, LOL. Sorry, Mac, don't time me out. Jane said, Muhammad, I'm doing well. I hope you are. Sonic said, I'm back. Maria said, oh my God, you can't imagine how good it is, is the salad. The money said, hello, sir, remember me? Yes, I do remember you. Sonic says, I'm going to like and sub. Thank you. I always go in every morning, and everybody that subs that shows up, I sub back. So I do appreciate it. Let's see, Beck says, Tis me, remember? Tis me. Yeah, Hewitt, I do remember. Jane said, Muhammad, I'm an old lady, LOL. I wasn't going to say that, Jane, because I don't want to offend, but mature, how's that? Southern said, North Central Island is home of the primitive tribe. It's illegal to go there. Also, no one has the internet there. Okay. I go says I go to 1 times 1. Robert said, whoa, I'm going to have to slow it down. Sorry, everybody. I got to talking. Robert said, Florida down here in the water world. Hello, Robert. Muhammad said, hello, grandmother. And Money says, how are you doing, sir? I'm doing awesome. Hope you are. Sonic said, I got to go. Be safe, Sonic. Thanks for stopping in. Reaper said, meow. Olivia said, I don't know what that means. You said the other day. I have no idea what it means. How are you, Carlo? Jane says, bye, Sonic. Jane says, hey, Reaper. Bucky said, do you remember me, bald man? Yes, I remember you, Logan. Rumpelstiltskin said, hello, Pops. And Grandma said, hi, Pops. Hey, Grandma. Jane said, Reaper, what's going on with health? Grandma said, hi, Jane. I moved it and it took off. Well, Rumple said, Jane said, let's see. I'm good. Thanks, Olivia. How are you? Said Carlo. Hi, Rumple. Said Jane. Grandma, hello, said Rumple. Rumple, Grandma lives up to his name in these tires. Daryl said, let's see, lives up to his name with these tires. Yes. Rumple said, Daryl, God dang it, I am behind. I don't like being behind. Going fast. I'm going to have to skip a couple hellos. See, Libby said, I'm sleepy, but I'm still awake doing chemo, Jane, said Reaper. The Money said, I'm also doing good, sir. Awesome. Gerald said, Grandma Rumple. Grandma Rumple. Maria said, is it disrespectful to call someone old when they are already old? It depends. Some people take offense to it. Me, I don't, but some people do get offended by you calling them old if they are. Olivia said, we had more tests today. I hope they went well. Or is that your test for school? Olivia said, hi, Grandma. Maria said, Grandma, aloha. Carlos said, Grandma, well, bald man, that's that between me and Carlo. Oh, okay. Guess that's why I don't understand it. Kevin said, hey, brother, how are you doing? Doing awesome. John Deere Model B said, hi. The money said, where is the other man who was sitting behind you? He vanished. If it's been a while since you've been in here, we were cutting a tree, and the tree fell on him. He's in a wheelchair, and he's not. He's only been able to be back here to the building 3 times since it happened on 9/5. So we go at the end of the month, or he goes at the end of the month to see if he's going to be able to start trying to walk again. Grandma says, big boys. Jane said, Carlos, dear, I'm going to skip some of these highs if y'all don't mind. Thank you, Jane. See, Maria says, Maria says, okay, old Randy, you're in college. Olivia, Jane says, I earned the right to be called old. I fought hard to get here. Robert says, older got her free Olive Garden. It's so good. I thought you already graduated. My money says, oh damn, sorry to hear that. If you're interested, it is on the channel. Near-death experiences when it happened, the full thing, and then Randy did kind of a recap of life changes in 7 seconds. So life has been changed a lot here in the last month. So if you got time, if you are interested, it is on the channel. Grandma said, hi, Robert. Money says, hope he can walk again. He's going to be able to walk again. They had to put a screw all the way through his hip, and they're waiting for the bone to adhere to the screw, and then he's going to be able to start trying to walk. But he's already got full fillings through his whole body and everything. He's not in pain anymore. So he's just going, once he heals, he can start walking. Hugh Jazz said, hi. Hello, Hugh. And Hugh Jazz, I'm sorry. Grandma says, hi. The money, and Jane says, money, he will walk again end of the month. We're hoping he goes back to work in the first week of December, because all he needs is the okay to start trying. And he has super succeeded everything they've told him to do at the hospital, so he's just waiting for the green light. He's ready to boogity. Daryl said next Friday he goes to see when he will let him walk. Yes, the 31st. Olivia said, yes, Maria, I enrolled in my second year of MTSU online. Jane said, hi, Hugh, Jess, and Money said, good to hear. Nice, Olivia. Maria says, now I know something new about you. What's that? Maria, Madison, hi, all driving to work. You be safe, Madison. Maria said, hi, Hugh. Sonic said, I'm back. Carlos says, Hugh. Hugh says, Olivia, Daryl. Maria says, hello, Madison. And John Deere Bottle B said, what's up, Gran? Hugh says, hello, Lovey. Daryl says, Maddie, don't YouTuber and drive it. It's dangerous. That's right. Hugh said, hello, the money. We got a Grand Pedo Hugh and a Hugh Jess in here. Awesome. Olivia said she meant she knew something new about me, Pops. Oh, sorry. You're right. I put 2 and 2 now that you said that, Olivia. Thank you for correcting me. Thought I done said something. She done snuck something in on me. Carlos said, hello, Madison. Jane said, hi, Hugh. Hugh says, hello, Madison, big boys. And Sonic said, when does the live stream end? Usually around 8 o'clock. We try to end it before Metal Custom has a premiere, and everybody goes over there and watches him sand and do his premiere. And everybody keeps talking for the next hour or so. Hugh says, hello, John Deere. Sony says, don't say that you have to say that again, but don't say bad word, please. I don't like it. What bad word did I say that you don't like? I'm sorry. Hugh said, hello, Sonic. And Grandma said, hi, Madison and Angels. Sony said, hi. Olivia says, are you calling me Lovey Hugh? I believe he's talking to his wife. Grandma said hi, Sonic. You said hi, hello, Sony. And Sonic said hi, Vic. Daryl said, smash the like and subscribe and join members to help support. Yes, that'd be awesome. We're at 19 and 20 minutes. 20 and 20 on one. That's good. That's kind of up. Thank y'all. You said hello, Sonic, and Grandma said Sony. Carlos says huge ass, LOL. Sonic said hi, Grand. Grandma said hi, babe. Rumpel said Hugh and hello. You said yes, I call wife Lovey. Robert said subscribe. Thank you, Robert. You said hello, Rumpel. Aaron said hi. Hello, Aaron. Sonic says, can I get a shout out? Sonic, yes. Hello. You said hello, Robert, and hello, Aaron. Olivia said I was asking because my nicknames are Liv and Olivia, as it confused me. Sorry, Hugh. Sorry, hi. Jane said, Aaron. Oh, she corrected it. Hugh J. Memory said, yo, what's up, y'all? You said, no worries. Aaron said, hi, Grand Brick and Grand Prix and Jane. Sonic said, I wish I can donate, but I'm broke. Hey, we all understand. We don't, I mean, it's awesome if you can. We appreciate it, but it's not expected. Maria says, we all broke. Some people's famous. So, famous people aren't broke, but, said, we are car people. We're all broke. Lotus said, hello, Lotus. Missed you yesterday. Aaron said, wall looks good. Yes, it's coming right along. I think there's 10 people now. And it's out at the road too. We finally got it up if you haven't been in there a while. Which I think I don't know if I showed you, if you've seen it out there or not, but there is a wall out there, members wall, everybody's name on it. Hugh said, hello, Lotus. And Daryl said, Lotus. Jane, Lotus. What's up, Hugh? Said, Lotus. Arlo said, the money said, which stream car y'all is? Aaron said, double tap. You said, you love cars, you love being broke. Yes. Aaron said, awesome. Lotus said, worked late yesterday, came home, passed out. I figured that's when somebody asked about it. I told them you was probably working late. Maria said, I don't make money from my famous. Olivia said, hey, Lotus. Daryl said, tonight's premiere is 42 minutes and brought to you by the Shiny Stuff. Joe said, where's the boy at this evening? If you're talking about the youngest one, I do not know. He didn't show today. So he was wanting to go to his girlfriend's tonight, but I don't know if he was able to get the vehicle. I don't know if he was going to have to wait till tomorrow or not. Maria says, what are you drinking? Now, Maria, you know what I'm drinking. Grandma said, hi, Aaron. Lotus said, what's up, Carlo? No, yeah. What's up, Carlo? And what's up, Lotus? Olivia, sorry. You said, we like Shiny Stuff. Aaron said, hi, Grandma. Olivia said, Pops, don't make me put you and the people I'm mad at list. Money said, lol, the same. I know much about cars, but too broke for a car. Lotus said, hey, Daryl. Sam said, where's the full? There's Sam. Olivia said, your son and Boggy are already on the damn list. Imagine that. Let's see. Sonic said, I've got to leave in 2 hours because another live stream will be on. Sorry. That's fine, Sonic. We do understand. Thank you for coming in. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Lotus said, run and Pepsi. There you go. Lotus said, hello, Maria. Grandma said, 22. Yes, thank you. See, you said, Joe, Lotus, run and Pepsi. Maria said, water? Rum? No, Maria. I don't drink rum, that's for sure. And I do drink water, but not very often, but it is Pepsi. Grandma said, hi, Samantha. Sonic said, hi, Samantha. Lotus said, funny, Boggy was complaining to your work today, complimenting your work today. Uh, I haven't seen it, but I guarantee you it's good. She does good on her work that I've seen. Robert said, I see a air conditioner. Are you in Florida? No, North Carolina. Grandma said, Olivia, you're a sweetheart. Lotus says, are you saying the rum is gone? I don't drink rum. Don't really. I've tasted a little bit of it. I don't really care for it. Why is the rum always gone? Somebody drank it, I reckon. Or I ain't bought it. Olivia said, I may be, but Buggy is an ass. Lotus said, Charger looks great, proper flag and all. Red says, Lowell, I know that one. You said, why is the rum always gone? I don't know. Jane said, it's in high demand, Lotus. Sonic said, I only do live streams when there is not many people. Well, I like for the people to be in here, and I do like it when I am fighting to keep up. It means a lot of people's coming and enjoying themselves, but I do try to read everybody's comment. Livy said, ha, I caught that quote, Lotus. I guess I didn't. Lotus said, haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean either. Seems like I have seen that, but I don't remember that quote. Maria said, it's a Jack Sparrow quote. I know I've seen that movie, but I can't think of the quote. Oh, well. As Maria would say, a fish memory. I guess I need to watch it again. Lotus said, even Maria got it. Yeah. See, you love, well, ask Maria. I'm just stupid. You said, it's a famous line from that movie. Jane said, I love me some Johnny Depp. Is it deep or Depp? I don't know. I know him. You said, yes. Olivia said, Lotus, we're going to have to control your brain. You said, Captain Jack Sparrow, Captain. Maria said, I love Johnny Depp. Lotus said, hey, James. Grandma said, we on at 9. All right, Grandma. Hugh said, Pirates of the Caribbean. Olivia said, it's a quote from the second movie, Pops. Okay. Jacob said, 6'7". Lotus said, culture makes my brain hurt, Olivia. Johnny D. Jeff said, hi. Jacob said, 6'7". Maria, you should watch it again. I probably should. Jacob said, Maria, Johnny lived in the same town as my sister. Sonic said, if you think Never Done Projects is cool, put a heart emoji and like and subscribe. Thank you, Sonic. Awesome. You said, Jeff and Jacob, I appreciate it, but please don't keep on. Let's see. Hugh said, hello, Jacob. It really messes up me trying to read everything, and it gets everything. And then when it's deleted like that, it messes up everything. So please don't continue to put the same stuff on there, please. Olivia said, Jacob, stop. Maria said, you're kidding, Jane. Grandma said, 23 now. Lotus said, are you calling me dumb, Olivia? Grandma said, hi, Jacob. Olivia said, I swear to all things holy, I will smack the hell out of you. Sonic said, heart, thank you. Lotus said, I will argue how wrong you are. Justin, W Sonic, make sure to subscribe. Thank you, said Sonic. And said, Daryl said, Justin. Lotus said, what's up, Justin? Maria said, there's Team U. Yeah, he's here, but he's not going to be able to help me load the stuff up. Let's see. Hugh said, hello, Justin. Sonic said, bro. Robert said, movie Free Birds with the turkeys. Grandma said, hi, Justin. Justin, Daryl, what's up, woman? Jesus is king. Said, hey, guys. Hello, Jesus. Sonic said, don't fight, bro. Daryl said, keep chat clean, civil, and upbeat, please. Thank y'all. Olivia said, and I'll argue how much of a caca head Lotus is. You said, hello, Jesus. Jesus says, hello, Vic. Grandma said, hi, 56. Lotus says, me, the person who is always so nice to you. Jane said, hey, Jesus, what did you say your first name was? I just watched the Happy Gilmore movie, said Maria. Sonic said, what is your favorite candy? Candy bar is probably a whatchamacallit. Regular candy is probably the Smarties, little, they come in a little pack, and they're a little bitty old like peel type. I like the Smarties about best of anything. Jesus said, Jordan, I hope I said that right. Rumpel says, I'm nice too. I hide my evil well. Levi said, I call BS, but you have been nice to me recently. Lotus said, I'm going to send Boggy some big rat traps. He has an infesting problem. James said, thanks, Jordan. You said, Rumpel. Maria says, he like all the candies. There you go. Sonic said, oh, okay. Lotus said, exactly what did I do to the always piss off? See, Lotus has been good lately. He understands we're trying to keep everything on a positive thing. We don't like all this arguing and fighting stuff. Lotus has been doing good lately. Jesus said, no problem. Hugh says, I'm getting greedy. I like them all. Roll on the ground, left my asshole. Sonic, I used to think Smarties make you smart. Why do you think I like them so much? Jesus is king. Hey, Grandma, by the way, Rumple says, we get Calibre gems. It's like M&M's. Cool. You said, that sounds good, Rumple. Life. Hello, Life. I don't mind a good argument. Well, we don't really like it in here. Sonic said, LOL. You said, hello, Life. Life's laugh. Livy says, no, you did not do nothing but poking and oversized to make him cause trouble. His just in my personality. Life says, hi there. Dream said, shut up, bald man. If I shut up, then there wouldn't be no reason I couldn't read. Lotus said, I try to be nice so I'm not the one to piss you off. Well, thank you, Lotus. Grandma said, hi, Life. Jane said, hey, Life. You said, Lotus, the new harness is getting close. Hey, my harness come in today. Samuel says, hey, everyone, respect from London. Hello, Samuel. You said, fingers crossed. Theme says, wave. You said, hello, London. Robert says, I don't mind a good agreement. Hey, I like that, Robert. That's a good one there. We can always agree to disagree, too, and that's fine. There's no sense in arguing. Olivia said, not oversized, but autocorrect. Or, let's see, Jane said, welcome, London. London. Lotus said, well, sweet, you can't wait. I hope it fires right up. I do, too. Grandma said 24 and counting. Yes, thank you. I'm actually showing 25 and 26. Thank y'all very much. Let's see. You said, me too, brother. Sonic said, don't be mean to the guy who made the stream, bro. There you go. Tell him. I'm so mad I can't. You said, I see 25. Lots of respect for across the pond. That's right. Maria says, I don't agree with you. Well, I agree with you, Maria. Lotus said, Randy will have uncles if I'm not nice. Hey, if I'm not nice, I can't do that. Ulcers. I'm sorry. I can't. I got to laugh. Well, thank you for thinking about my health, Lotus. Now I got two people to worry about my health. Levy said, you don't really piss me off. You just derail my built-in attitude. Sonic said, it's good if you just don't say mean things. Please don't be mean. I like it, Sonic. Life said, everyone is entitled to their wrong opinion. That's exactly right, Life. You said, lol, Olivia. You said, roll around, Life, laughing his ass off. Grandma said, Olivia, is my picture ready? Judge said, once I'm not there, the views are showing back up. Dang, yeah, I was noticing that. Craig said, hello, Hello, how is everyone? I'm doing awesome. Hope you are, Craig. Grandma said, Lowell. Maria said, who said I care about your health? Well, I thought you did, but maybe you don't. There's a lot of traffic today. You want me to go play in traffic? You said, hello, Craig. Maria said that was too long ago. So you do admit saying it. Justin said that was pretty mean, Maria. See, look at there. Grandma said, hi, Craig. Life said, oh, my other go-to. You said, that's how it works. Others said, what a surprise. TMU doesn't get as many views as the real Randy. Carlos said, Justin, hello. And Olivia says, no, just started working on them again. I kind of stopped when I started, still going to part. Life said, everyone can be right. I have figured it out. You just have to agree with me. There you go. Olivia said, shut up, Justin. Nobody asked you. Craig said, hello, Vix. Maria says, no, it's not mean. I'm just saying. You said, Lowell, Life. Robert said, taking longer to wash my face, too, with my hair line. Maria said, I agree with you, Olivia. Justin said, listen here, Olivia, that's a lot of attitude for such a small person. Gabriel said, you need to get a job, huh? I got 2 or 3 of them. Damn, how many more you want me to have? Grandma said, I have never argued or fight with anyone here, Pops. That's right, Grandma. Olivia says, and I agree with Maria. I agree with Maria. Said, Hughes Lowell. Lotus says, you care, Maria. It's 2 a.m. and you're here every day. Gabriel says, Boomer. Hughes says, I have. Big Ben says, bark for us. Livy said, and that a lot of BS stacked up to make you, Justin. Life said, life is rated E for everyone. Hughes said, right, Life. Jacko said, God bless you. Who is your hair? Who is your hair? Or where's my hair? Or who's my hairstylist? Justin said, BS or not, I'm still almost 2 feet taller than Stay Salty. Big Ben's crying. Maria said, so what? Yep, that's what I say. So what? Dennis said, good evening, everyone. Hello, Dennis. Maria says, I can't be here. Why not? Hugh said, have a great one, everyone. Time clock's calling. See you, Hugh. Thanks for stopping in. Lotus says, I didn't know they stacked shit that high or that tall. Hugh said, hello, Dennis, team. Richard B. said, hi. Hello, Richard. Curtis said, where are you from? Denton, North Carolina. Carlos said, Lotus, what's stronger than blue, Loctite, but not permanent? Been looking at green. You said, hello, Richard. Life says, evening. Lotus said, yeah, green. Dennis said, Grand Pedovic, wave. Richard B. said, Hugh. Carlos said, what's up, Richard? Lotus said, green is anti-vibration. Willie said, I have an interesting story for you. And is that 6 a.m.? Come on, Willie, you said that crap the other day. Let's don't do that here again tonight, please. Life said, North Carolina has some good barbecue. Yes, they do. Let's see, what is that? How about 1275? Justin, you 2 feet taller and weigh 60 pounds less. 60 pounds with steel boots on. Maria said, never mind. Okay. Willie says, Carlos said, thanks, Lotus. Grandma said, hi, Richard B. Let's see. Violet said, hey, hello. Let's see. Willie, I just stopped reading your comments because you were being stupid, so you pushed your luck too far. Levy said, STFU, Willie. See, Life said, Willie is wild. Southern said, hi. Hello, Southern. Richard B. said, big boys. Life says, Lowell, saw that coming. See, Lotus said, oh, crackhead Willie. Life says, call it how you see it. I love it. Now, just to tell y'all how much I like Smarties, here it is. I ordered this box right here. The majority of this box is full of those Smarties, just in case the kids don't eat them all. Let's see. Let's see. Life says, Colin, how you see it, love it. Grandma said, hi, Southern. Levy says, brr, papa, vroom, vroom. Richard B says, hip, hooray for me. Whose birthday is it? Life said, diabetes. No, you don't get diabetes from candy. Richard B said, Grandma Vic. Lotus said, a box of diabetes. It ain't, yeah, I didn't say I was going to eat them all at one time. Yum said, Velveeta. Livia, I want to drive. Randy wants to walk. Lotus said, send some to Maria. Carlos said, happy birthday, Richard. Life said, question? Bro said, hi. King said, hi. Hello, King. Maria said, I just made sure that you are a big sugar lover. I'll make sure that you... Robert said, McDonald's decaffeinated is washed from caffeinated and tastes better. Okay. Life is looking. Southern said, what is your favorite movie? I don't know. I like car movies, but I don't know about a favorite movie. I like an action movie. I really don't. I mean, I like watching movies. I watch them more in the wintertime than I do in the summer, but I don't really have a favorite one. Maria says, I really feel sorry for the thing going on. I'll just keep shoving. He keeps taking care of me. Lois says, I bet you do, Livia. You go for a fun car to drive. Jeffrey said, where's the 24-year-old freeloader? Don't have one. Richard B said, it's my birthday. Maria said, happy birthday, Richard B. Olivia said, I don't even want to drive the Lee. I want to drive the Eclipse. Richard said, Maria. Grandma said, happy birthday, Richard B. God bless you always. Life said, happy birthday. Funny I have a huge stash of candy just for the kids of Halloween. Don't touch a piece. There you go. When I open it up, I'm going to take all I want out and then get the rest of it away. Livia said, happy birthday, Richard. Mine is next Monday. Richard B said, thanks, chap. Southern said, you sound like my social studies teacher. Well, your social studies teacher must sound good then. Lotus said, I miss my DSM too, Olivia. Life said, it just gets me sick. Lotus said, that circle was fast as fuck. Olivia said, DSM? Your Eclipse is a DSM, said Lotus. Robert said, original Lethal Weapon movie always makes me cry. I do like that movie. The original one, which I like them all, but I do like the original one. Olivia said, Boggy is molded to the engine, or so he says. Southern says, this Chad is speaking another language, I swear. Well, that's what's so good about it. Everybody comes in here and we talk all kinds of things, and it goes everywhere. We will have 2 or 3 different conversations going on. That's what I like about it, especially when it gets to going good like tonight. Now, last night I felt defeated when I got off of last night. I didn't really. The live last night, I had our regular ones in, but it didn't do good at all. So I just felt like I've been whooped last night. Lotus said, 89 to 2000 Eclipse, laser talent built by TSM, Diamond Star Motors. I didn't realize that's what you were meaning by TSM. You had said that before, but I didn't realize it was Diamond Star Motors. Don't even know what that was, but I didn't. I thought it was like a Chrysler product or something. I really, to be honest with you, I ain't really, but like I said, I thought it was like a Chrysler product. Good to know. Livy said, oh, Diamond Star Motors. Lotus says, I have a 92 all-wheel drive, 800 horsepower. It was a freaking rocket. Cool. Grandma said, you still doing the get together on the first pops? Yes, ma'am. Do plan on still doing it. I don't know how big it's going to be because we really didn't advertise it like we have the trunk or treat, but we are doing it, and everybody is welcome. Maria says, you know you can be really good at really, where'd it go? Let's see, you know you can really good Santa for Christmas. You know you could be really good Santa for, I ain't never thought about that, Maria. I guess you're saying I got the belly for it, I just need to get the beard. Let's see, so it says, I'm going to try and guess your age, okay? Olivia said, but I thought Chrysler owns Mitsubishi. Lotus said, it was a joint venture between Chrysler and Mitsubishi. Okay. Richard B says, it's already Friday here in Norway, so I'm a year older today. It's still Thursday in the U.S. That's right. Maria said, and instead of putting cookies and milk, they'll pull out Pepsis and Skittles. Hey, sounds good to me. But I do like milk and cookies now. Livy said it is still a Japanese Mopar. Lotus said, no, Chrysler don't own Mitsubishi. Maria Lowell. Southern says, okay, you are 58. I'm 56. Robert said, Norway, hello. Livy said, oh, okay. Velvet, I don't know how to say that. But anyway, says, I bet he is 40. No. Let's see. Gold says, did you know that pot was invented from the World War II when soldiers cooked dirt with the pans to eat? I did not know that. They said, technically, 4G63 is a hemispherical head, so I mean, sounds like a Hemi to me. Maria says he looked older than 40. Richard said, Robert R. Wave. Hello, Richard B. Livy said, damn it. Jesus' back had to do something. What happened? Nothing. We just talking amongst ourselves. Grandma said, Pops, how long is my punishment for? You're not punished for nothing, Grandma. Livy says, you're giving Boggy more fuel. Lotus, he already called in the Ching Klong Mopar. Grandma said 28. All right. Thank y'all. Lotus said, that's funny. Brenda says, I need an Apple machine for Christmas. Understand, Santa? I do not know where to send it. This is one Santa that don't know everything. Olivia says, no, it isn't. Lotus says, he needs some Hemi stickers. Grandma said, welcome back, 56. Olivia said, he also calls it the true tree hugger car. Olivia is mad. Woohoo. Jesus said, thanks. And Grandma said, lol. Shut that door. It can get a little chilly. Let's see. Lotus said, Olivia, at 600 horsepower and good tires, that DMS will grab the shit out of his Mustang. Gap, I'm sorry. Southern said, what do you call a dog with no legs? Probably don't matter what you call him. He ain't coming. Jesus said, eh? Maria said, I saw your message yesterday, but I didn't respond. Oh, really? Really? Lotus said, if it stays in one piece. Maria says, you missed one. What did I miss? Olivia said, no, Pops, the tree hugger car, aka Paul Walker car. He wasn't driving the Eclipse, was he? Thought he was in a Ferrari when he wrecked. Robert said, the real meaning of Lowell is love, only love. Oh, I thought it was laugh out loud. Southern said, what do you call a flooded hospital? That one I don't know. John Deere Model B says, I'm back. Hi, Grand. D-Pod says, did you believe that Kevin Cates started the car battery with his bare hands? I don't know who that is, and I didn't know nothing about it. Change Your Life says, hello, sir. Hello. Lotus said, the green Eclipse that starts the Fast and the Furious movie. Oh, okay. That's what he was in? John Deere Model Bring said, hit that like button, guys. Hugh, Grandma said, Hugh has to work, but it is okay for me to come over. Yes, Grandma, you are welcome. Everybody's welcome. You know you're welcome here. Jesus said, I thought it was laugh out loud. That's what I thought. Livia said, in the beginning of the first Fast and the Furious, Paul had an eclipse that he got blown up. Yes. Blown up, yes. Southern said, vegetable soup. Deport says, did you vote for Kamala Harris? We do not talk politics in here. We don't like controversial talks in here. We like to keep everything on a positive thing. Livia says, not when he read. Oh, okay, not when he read. Livia said, Buggy is just an ass. Robert said, yeah, laugh out loud is correct. Lotus said, he died in a Porsche. Oh, okay. I thought I couldn't remember. I knew it was an upscale car. Killer Ghost said, you're police. I know that. I'm not. The son was, but I'm not. Robert said, love, only love. Bria said, who died? I think they're talking about Paul Walker, I think. Livia said, and we'll point out anything that brings him joy. Jesus says, what did you say, love, only love then? Why did you say? David said, Trump, Trump, Trump. Said, Jesus says, you creating a new one? Southern said, what did you call a flooded hospital? Oh, that's cold. That's cold. I didn't catch that a minute ago. Sorry. Liv said, even pointing out my education about Paul Walker, though he was really hot. Maria said, who's that? In Fast and the Furious, the one that died in a car accident when they were making the movies. Joe says, hello, sir, from El Paso, Texas. God bless you and your family. Right back at you. I said Joe, but it's Josepher. Oh, that's the Riviera. That's the one I call Riviera, I think. Welcome. Thank you. God bless you too. Lotus, I like the Skyline better than the Eclipse. Rich said 30 likes. Yes, thank y'all very much. I appreciate it. Jesus says, I don't get it. Number one. Mary said, oh my God, you mean the handsome guy? That's the one they call handsome, I guess. They said, well, nobody asked your opinion, Lotus. Grandma said, hi, is it Jose? God bless you and also your family. That's right, Marius. Unfortunately, he died. Yes, that's the one they're talking about. They said, yeah, the really hot blonde boy. Adam said, what's up, y'all? Hello, Adam. Livia said, Adam. Jesus said, what's up, man? Southern said, what do you call a group of trans women? The X-Men. Careful, that got a lot of people pissed off the other day. Maria says, I don't get it. You don't get that? The X-Men? They were X-Men. Adam said, Lotus, Olivia. And Grandma said, Adam. Carlos said, what's up, Grease Spot Garage? Grease Spot said, Maria. Lotus said, fun fact, the only two cars actually fully built cars for the show were Vincent's RX-7 and the Sean Monte Carlo. At the rest, all the rest pictures, cars, no mods. Oh, really? I did not know that. Maria said, yes, I don't understand the joke. It was, what do you call a group of trans women? Ex-men, right? Let's see. Greaseball said, Big Granny. Jesus says, I still don't understand the vegetable soup one. I guess it's because it flooded and there's a bunch of vegetables in there now. Grandma said, welcome back, John Deere. Olivia said, not true, Lotus. Robert says, I don't get the X-Men. They weren't men. I took it that they were men and they went to women, but again, I don't. Could have been the other way around. I get it. I figured what they were saying, but I guess I didn't think into it hard enough. Let's see. I had a mate who had a Mitsubishi FTO V6, said Carlo. Adam said, King. Lotus said, 72 big block Monty. It had a hardcore 632 under the hood, made 1,200 horsepower. The black car? Maria says, oh, I don't understand. Maria said, it's so funny. Levy says, the Super and the Charger were the modded for the first one. Jesus says, oh, that's kind of dark. Yeah. You note the Charger is not blown. I thought the black Charger was blown. Southern said, what did one Saggy Boob say to the other Saggy Boob? We don't get some support soon. People are going to think we're nuts. There you go. Lotus said, it's fake and the Super was shown. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now. It was just okay, I got you. Levy says, then the second one, it was the Evo and Spider. Adam said, headed out to get a car cover for Pandora. Picked up a California car cover for $50. Cool. My California car cover has been awesome. I've had it since 2000, and it really does good for my orange truck. It was well built. I'd like to have another one just like it. Levy said the Charger wasn't blown, but it still had the mods under the hood. That's what I didn't realize that. That's what I realized. That's what he was saying there. Robert said, right, don't give the devil a thought. Lotus said, the white car is at the beginning of the Tokyo Drift, the one they drove through the house. Oh, Jesus said, FR. Carlos said, X-Men, they are no longer men. That's what I was thinking they were men. Lotus said, the blower is a pop on of the hood. Okay, I got you. Livy said they still had mods, even if they weren't, they would have broken under the high stress. Jesus said, good job, but there needs to be better answers. Lotus said the two cars from the FF2 were factory tuned. Maria says, y'all car nerds. Yes. Maria says, I don't understand anything. Well, a lot of times they get me because I have to kind of read and think because I watch them and I do like cars. But like now, Randy, he calls off all these different numbers And like you were saying last night about me, couldn't believe I didn't know Chester's age. All those numbers, they don't mean that much to me. Back when I was younger, I knew all the mods on what was in the cars and stuff like that, but I never got into the numbers and all that of the building of the vehicles. So when we're talking about diesels and stuff like that, Randy can just pop off all the numbers. I don't. I just, let's see, Libby said they still had exhaust mods. Lois said, I thought you knew this, Maria. Jesus said, I understand some stuff. Maria says, know what? That we're car nerds? Adam says, Maria, you should see me nerd out over cars. I can really get into it. Maria says, I don't want to see. Jesus says, do you prefer a car or a truck? Me, I prefer a truck. Lotus says, that we all car nerds. Olivia says, was a really pretty car even though it was yellow. Southern said, why don't you ever see a guy, man, with in a wheelchair? Because once you're a fruit, you become a vegetable. That's me. Maria says, yeah, I knew that from the first live. Jesus said, same. Levy said that R33 in the first movie. Look at there. We're showing 30 and 31. No, thank y'all. I appreciate that. Levy said the fastest car in the FF1 was Letty's Yellow Skyline, 1,000 horsepower, real street racer car they borrowed/rented. Adam said, I prefer anything that got a gasoline or an internal combustion engine. I'm with you, Adam. Lotus said, Lenny's. Jill says, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I would say the chicken. Maria said, let's change the subject to something I can understand. Just follow along and learn. Jesus said, said Lowell. Southern said, nothing chickens don't exist. Jesus said eggs. Olivia said, so we're on the same page, Lotus. Jesus says, then what am I eating for dinner then? Carlos says, I'm an RC car nerd. That's the way I feel. The way Maria's feeling right now is the way I feel when you and Lotus starts talking about RC stuff. I have no idea and barely can read it. Adam said, Southern Direct, we are living in a simulator, computer program, or a matrix, so we say. Maria says, I think I should start practicing to drive a car. I do too, Maria. I think you should have been driving a long time ago. And Adam, I'm beginning to wonder the same thing. I've often wondered if we're just in a snow globe and people shake it up or something, or there's a movie out where everybody's involved except the guy that the movie's about. And sometimes I wonder if that is, they're just trying to test me to see how much pressure before I break. Maria said, my dad should teach me. I agree, Maria. I agree with you, Maria. Lotus said, let's send Maria to race driver school. Yeah, there you go. A drift school. Olivia said, and Venice's car is just ugly and a piece of trash. No offense to the people that like his car. Jesus said, how was your day? I don't think I asked. It was, I didn't do a whole lot. I did a lot of driving, and I did get to cut my trailer out, so we got it out where I could get it tomorrow. But it was a beautiful day, so I can't complain. And my work day's over, so I can't complain. Thank you for asking, and I hope yours was good. Maria said, he's too busy. I should wait until he's free. Chickens take a lot of time. Lotus said, y'all hate Skittles? kind of like them. Southern said, no, I'm 15. I've already crashed a few times. It's not funny. Oh, no, it's not funny. Lotus said, even STR Skittles. See, Adam said, Maria, I'm on the next flight out. We're going to teach you how to drive, and then we're going to teach you how to really drive. Jesus said, no problem. Olivia says, no to the blue one from the first movie, you ding dong ogre. Lotus said, that's what we call Dodge Neons. They came in every flavor of the rainbow. Let's see. Maria said, you think that my dad only had chickens in his life? He has a family too. No, Maria, I just said it because you always get mad about his chickens. That's the only reason I said it. Don't get your old underwear in the wad. I was just playing, just picking. Good Lord. I just know you get aggravated about the chickens. I have no idea what your daddy does. You only said, as far as I know, you've only said something about your daddy having chicken, and I think your mama's a nutritionist or something like that. I don't recall you ever saying what your daddy done, to be honest with you. And the way you put it, he don't care for his family, he cares for his chickens. That's the way I took it. I mean, if you remember, I give you a hard time about it. Lotus said his car was 2000 STR4 Neon. Maria says he studied and work at the same time. Okay. Southern said, guys, well, we all going to correctly teach Maria how to drive. Maybe not me, though. I'll be emotional support. There you go, Southern. If you've been crashing and you're only 15, yeah, let's don't do that. Maybe you need to sit over and watch as they teach. Maria said, I know, I'm just playing. Carlos said, Lotus, do you like the metal blue band called Five Finger Death Punch? Adam said, her mom's a nutritionist. Well, that explains why she gets all over you. I know. That's exactly right, Adam. Lotus said, I've seen Five Finger in concert, Carlo. They rock. Maria says, you should teach me. Carlos said, awesome, Lotus. Jesus says, gotta go, so y'all see y'all's Saturday and Javelin a football game Friday, so won't be able to talk. Take care, you guys. See you, Jesus. Thank you for stopping in. Really do appreciate your time. And have a football, said Jesus. Southern said, okay, okay, does everyone know each other in this chat? We know each other just by the chat. I have met Adam at Grease Spot Garage. I've met Metal Art Customs. I've met Grandma Vic. I've met Grandpa Vic. I've met Lotus. But most of everybody else is just on this live here. Rhea says, what is nutritionist? Lord, you gonna make me think that I'm just dreaming stuff. That's what I thought you said your mama was, talking about healthy foods and stuff. Jesus said, thanks. Carlos said, wash it all away is one of my favorite Five Finger songs, Lotus. Adam says, Poracco? Cool. Thank you. Welcome. 7330. Lotus says, you met me. How's Randall doing? About ready to get out that chair, I can tell you that. But I've talked to him very little yesterday or today. I talked to him a little. He had a doctor's appointment today. And, but we just count down to the 31st. Maria says, oh, I understand. Carlos said, wrong side of heaven, Lotus. Southern says, I've got to go, but I subscribe, so maybe I'll be back soon. Thank you, Southern. If you didn't know, we do the live every day at 6. And on Sundays, we cook breakfast Sunday morning, do a live. And like I said, 6 p.m. every single day. We try to do a live every day at the same time. Maria said, sorry, I'm feeling too sleepy. I can't think right. JH7, how you doing, buddy? Robert said, eat eggs raw myself. Ooh, not me. Not me. Now, I do like to eat my eggs over easy. The yellow I like to be runny, but now the white has to, if the white is runny, it makes me sick. I can't, and I'm not going to drink one not cooked at all like a lot of bodybuilders do. I'm not going to do that. J7 said, I cannot understand how people can watch that UW live on the short walk. I don't understand. I don't know what it is. I guess is UW, is that a fight thing? I don't really like it either. But Maria said chickens are annoying. I agree, Maria. Man, 34 thumbs up. Thank y'all very much. Let's see, Lotus. I like most of war. Most of war is the answer, and American capitalists, but stop following after those. JH7 said chickens are only annoying if you make them annoying. Pay them no attention. Pay them no attention. Maria said, no, that's not true. J7 said, I have been here for a month of 2 now. Robert said, if the egg tastes funny, don't even cook it. If the egg tastes funny, don't even cook it. Well, if you tasting it, how you gonna cook it? Those chickens are annoying. They're noisy. Maria said, it doesn't work like that. Maria said, you need a chicken. I used to have them. We used to have them at the house. I told Randy one time we were going to try to, it got out or something. I said, you're not going to catch that chicken. He proved me wrong. Carlos says, I have 3 hens in my backyard. Maria says, why not anymore? They died. Something eat them. Lotus says, someone by our shop has chickens. They are always screeching. I didn't keep them in cages or anything. I just had them running around because we got 8.5 acres. And guy at work gave them to me. And I had them there at the house. And then they bedded down one night and something got them. Something ate them. Maria says, I hope our chickens disappear like yours. That's just mean, Maria. Levy said, how have chicken hawks not got you yet? I'm fast as muck. Lotus said, the rooster sounds retarded and the crows 752 times a day. What's really pitiful is you counted it 752 times. Lotus said, never mind. Lotus said, I think it's a hey. Lotus says, AKA boat snack. Robert said, going to drink an egg right now. Yuck. Cheers up then. Maria said, no, it's not. They're mean to me. Maria said, fast as a turtle. Dang. Those words just cut right to the bone, Maria. You're so mean. Drowsy said, you remind me of Walter White, sir. Well, thank you. A lot of people say that. Carlos says, we are not allowed to keep roosters. Oh, really? I mean, you can keep hens, you just can't keep roosters? Chris says, I'm saying facts. Okay. Other than the videos, you've never seen me out of this chair unless I'm showing people. How do you know if I'm fast or not? Lotus said, chickens are dirty too. Yes, they are. They are a nasty animal. As some people call them, they're damn old yard birds. Accountability says, go fight someone. Now, why would I want to do that? I have nothing but love for people. I don't care to fight. Lotus says, we can fight you. Maria says, I imagine it. Typical. That's how. Okay. Typical. Then I guess I agree with you, Maria. You're right. Robert said the egg is the perfect food. Well, if it is the perfect food, why did you drink it? It would be the perfect drink, wouldn't it? Maria said, I think I'm faster than you. Whatever you think, Maria. Lotus says, no, bacon is a perfect food. Lotus said, I bet she is. Y'all remember? No, what was it? The turtle in the hair, or the tortoise in the hair? That turtle would win every time, slow and steady. Y'all remember that? Lotus said she's healthy. You don't know if she's healthy or not. She could be a he. Remember? Robert said yes. Maria says, now, Randy, you're allowed to ask me one question, only one. Jim said, flag. Angel said, Trump's team. Jimmy said, flag. Y'all hit that like button while y'all come in there saying crazy stuff. Lotus said, what's your address? Kate says, hi, hello. Let's see, Carlos says, the Energizer Bunny. There you go. Kate says, I love candy. There's plenty in here. Olivia said, Pop, what kind of notice nonsense are we going to do next Monday? I don't know. Maria says, why do you need my address? Let's see, who asked? Oh, so he can send you something. Robert said, make America great again. Lois says, so I can send you an orange shirt. You ain't gonna get that. She's famous. She don't give her address out. She hides behind the internet. Maria says, no, I changed my mind. Lewis said, but, Maria said it is somewhere in Baghdad, though. Lewis says, hey, I know several famous internet people. Well, you know one more. They're all named Randy. Oh, Lord. We did have one of the neighbors, my husband and wife across the road over there, they come over and said they just realized they were around some famous people. They wanted to come sit down and just talk to us. They sat there and talked to us for over an hour. I thought that was funny. Olivia says, we have to do something next Monday. What do you want to do next Monday? Robert said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good night. Good night, Robert. Thank you for stopping in. Do appreciate you coming and spending your time with us. Lotus said, that's it. We going to Baghdad. Mia says, put the pen down. Livy says, I don't know, Pops. Lotus said, pack up the race cars. We going to cruise Baghdad till we find the lady yelling at chickens. Red says, don't talk to me, Randy. Ask my secretary. I don't have time to ask my secretary. I don't have time. I'm too famous. It wouldn't surprise me. This probably just you probably got it on all those questions and ask just, somebody probably asked all the questions for you. Libby said, but we have to do something for your favorite child. Okay. Didn't know I had a favorite child. I love all my children the same. Red says, how dare you, Lotus? That's right. I hate them, but I'm not mean to them. You said they were mean to you. That means you're mean to them, because chickens are only mean to people that are mean to them. If you're not mean to them, they won't bother you. Wilco said, right on. Wilco, roger that, said, right on. Maria says, he lies. He like Justin. No. All my kids are loved the same. David said, no, I'm your favorite child. I thought that's what you were saying, but, because didn't you say Monday was your birthday? David said, I hope we do find Maria a bunch of white boys running around Baghdad. We may need her to save our butts. Joe said, Candyman. Hello, Joe. From the Candyman. I am the Candyman. What we got here? 38 and 39. Man, a couple more y'all hit that lucky button for me. I'll have 40. Maria says, why you remember that? I said it 5 minutes ago. You should forget. What did I remember? Lotus said, oh, someone has a birthday on Monday, huh? Yeah, I think so. I think Olivia does. Wilco Roger that says, thumbs up. Thank you. Man, they give me a thumbs up. One more, we'll have 39. 40. I said 39, reading 39, sorry. Maria says, about the chickens are mean to me. Oh, I just remember you saying it. Remember, I read them. Lotus says, I have to call you Monday and sing to you. Olivia said, no. You gonna make me sing to you? What we got? Samper says hi. Hello. Let's see, Lotus says, oh yeah, get ready. I wish there was a way we could all color at the same time and sing it. Wilco said, who got a birthday? Ghostly, her birthday's Monday. And we had somebody in there, theirs was today, I believe. Said, Maria says, I don't like it when you use your mind. Olivia says, I don't receive calls anyway. It's Boggy's number, remember? That's fine. He'll give you the phone. He can put it on speaker. Olivia says, no, I'm gonna have you do something. I can't do a backflip. Maria says, Olivia, the birthday girl. Olivia said, Pops. Wilco, Roger that, said, push it real good. What do you want me to push? Wilco, push the pin. I can push the pin. Maria said, there's over 10 million people who live in Baghdad. How are you going to find me? Let's see. Warrior, what's up, white chocolate milk dud? How you doing there, Warrior? Lotus said, Boggy, take the phone to Olivia on speaker. Maria said, stop. Olivia said, Maria, I don't agree with them putting their mind together. Olivia said, Pops, that pen is going to drive me insane. What? This pen? That's two of you's going to go insane over that pen. Maria says, they're annoying when they think. Just a dang. Even letting a small pen piss you off. This guy lives in put the hell down, old man. Maria said, it makes me anxious. Hash Brown said, heard Eagles drop stuff on bald people. I've never had them drop nothing on me. Carlos said, speaking of pins, where is Big? I don't know, I ain't seen Big. He ain't been in there. Olivia says, I think the world of you, Justin. Cool. Lotus said, click, click, click. Maria says, you're going to make me psychopath. No, I'm not going to make you psychopath. You already psychopath. That should make it easier to find you. Yeah, all I got to do is click a pin. If we go, you got to go through Baghdad clicking a pin, somebody's going to tell you to stop. Olivia said, no, I don't. He a kick-a-head. See, Anna, Trump is a child rapist. Whatever you think, if somebody told you that and you believe it, shame on you. Lotus said, in prison after murdering 3 Randys. Maria says, how dare you? Liv said, stop clicking it. Let's see. Adam said, okay, the pen clicking really got me. I just took out 50 cars put on the freeway. Thankfully, they were all fours. Well, get back on the road. You won't hit the fours if you stay on the road. They're all on the side pushing. Olivia said, it's right in my ear. Ron says, hope Diddy gets out early. Whatever you think, man. And maybe he'll make you some money. Maria said, I'm not a psychopath. Lotus said, what? Did you sneeze on them, Adam? Said, Lotus says, hey, you said it, Maria. Olivia's laughing. Dip said, do these splits. Boy, I'd love to be able to do a split. I got a couple of new people right there that just said a few things to me. Y'all new people hit the like button. One of you did anyway. It went up one. Thank y'all. There's Bud said, piss on that flag and power to Mexicans. Well, you got your opinion. We love Mexicans too, so we respect you. We would ask that you respect us. Livy says, get out your mom's basement. Lotus said, do backflip and land in the split. Oh, yeah. Jeremy said, I don't know what that is. Maria says, I'm going to go to sleep before I lose my mind. All right, Maria, see ya. Sleep well. I just play it. Let's see. Carlos said, how about a split? A banana split. Bud said, take a dump on it. Well, if that's what you feel, man. Like you said, everybody's got their opinion. I appreciate if you would be respectful in my life, though. I will respect you, and I appreciate if you'd hang around and be respectful. Livia says, night, Maria. Lotus said, night, Maria. Livia said, Lotus, you try that. Adam said, two-way, Maria, you're already here. That means you're already done lost it. That's right. Jerry said, hi, hello, how you doing? I'm doing awesome. Hope you are. Adam said, too late. Lotus said, I'll send the ghost right over. Bud said, this is our life. Well, it's my life. I'm the one that has the say over it. I can stop it and start it. But, like I said, I appreciate you coming in, and I don't like the comments, but I do appreciate the comments. And, like I said, we are all trying to be respectful here. Matthew said, hey, hello, Matthew. Olivia says, come on, Tiny Turbo. Cherry says, I'm good, thank you. Awesome. Olivia says, yeah, I did a face plant, Olivia. Olivia says, you won't die. Kitty said, hey. Olivia says, I never could do a backflip. No. Olivia's laughing. Olivia says, well, on purpose anyway. Olivia said, Kitty. Carlos said, hello, Kitty. Bud said, Trump for your next president. Kitty said, hey, Olivia. Olivia said, question marks. Kitty said, hey, Carlos. Lotus said, hey, Kitty. Hey, man, look at there. We got 42 and 43. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all hitting that button for me. Kitty said, hey, Lotus. Adam said, watch the political stuff. We do not do political or religion. I think they were just trying to test the waters to see, because a lot of people come in here and test the waters to see if we'll delete them. I try to, as long as they don't do stupid stuff, I try to leave them. Carla says, hi, how are you? I'm doing great. Hope you are. Adam said, Google place to hang out and find chill, not argue over politics. That's right. Liberty said, question mark, you mean exclamation marks. You're right. Did I say it wrong? I'm sorry. But I don't give out likes easy. Well, if you didn't, that's fine. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being honest about it. And if you feel that, if you feel like I deserve it, give me one. If you don't, I understand. But thank you. 88 says ASL, question mark. I don't know what it means, but Lotus says vote Darth Vader for next president. Nathan said white only. Nope, everybody's welcome. Journey says hi. Hello, Journey. Kitty says, how are you? Said Nathan says, I want white only in my office. Well, that's up to you. Everybody's got their opinions. Leader says, Bud, we don't care to get out your mom's basement. Nathan said, if it's not white, my office, you'll hear me. Carlos says, you are my favorite YouTubers. Thank you. And says, what is the live about? We all come in here and have a good time and enjoy. We talk about anything from cars to food and how bad I eat. So we just we're good group of people come in and have positive vibes. And it's usually about car stuff too. Adam says, that's why I let him be. 88 says, age 6 and location. Oh, okay. Nathan says, let's see. Olivia says, I'm sleepy. We're testing again. Kitty, why I haven't been online. Nathan said, okay. Olivia said, Kitty. Route said, evening NDP. Thank you on route. Nathan says, Carlos says, you are so cool. Well, thank you. Kitty says, same Olivia. Nathan says, la la la. Matthew says, hi Adam. Let's see. The King O says, "Are you gonna paint the ceiling?" One day. Let's see. Daryl said, "Cat." Said to Bud, "What's your favorite UK car?" There is, I don't know what you call it. I think it's over there where it looks like a El Camino type, but I don't know what you call it. I think it's a UK car. See, Kitty said Mike. Matthew, Olivia said Mac. Lotus says the Listed Storm is my favorite UK car. I don't know what that is, but Carla, you are the best. Well, thank you. Daryl said 43 likes. Yes, thank y'all. Red Rum. Been a while since Red Rum been in here. Hello, Red Rum said hi. Daryl said Ghostly. Daryl said UTE. The King says, "Can you paint the ceiling?" Must be getting close. Yeah, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. I figured that's where you were going with that mess. Lewis said, "I saw the picture you sent to Boggy and you did really good. I also saw the video. Thanks for restarting the facial jokes, Mac." Carlos says, "I will put a red 100 in the chat. Thank you." Lotus says, "Stop asking that ass hat." Reef says, "Can I do my laundry money through your small business?" No, better, let's don't get involved in that. Matthew said, "Release the Randy files yet." Not yet. Let's see. Bud says, "My favorite UK car is the Hilux with the drop-down tailgate." I like that too. Bud says, "Perfect for dog fashion." Carlos says, "IA on YouTube." Matthew said 100%. Thank you. Let's see. User said, "Little bro is unsatisfied with his job, so he's just past the time." That's not good. Let's tell him to keep on working. Carlos says, "I am on YouTube." Orchard says, "You're handsome." Well, thank you. Kenny says, "Hi." Says, "Hi again, Matthew. I will release the Matthew files if you release the Randy files. When Randy gets back, we may work on that." Carlos says, "Hey." Candy says, "Hi." Kenny on videos. I think Kenny on videos, I think is what it might be. Let's see. Daryl said, "Thank you, Ghostly." See, I don't know what that is. Side. That's side A. Says, "Damn is laughing." Let's see. Lotus said, "Donate 100. Send you the Randy files." There you go. Kitty said, "Olivia, you was busy day." Double O said, "You look." Yup. Ghost said, Olivia said, "Pops, no, that name is Moist and Ready is an appropriate name." That's the reason I didn't read the whole name. I just, I didn't. That's the reason I just read the first thing. I see what they do. Like I said, I wasn't gonna read the whole thing. Levy said, "Very busy week, actually." Matthew says, "Hearts." Kitty said, "Hey, Matthew." Let's see. Matthew said, 829 black and pink. That's right. Are you Muslim? Nope, I am not. American. Matthew said, "Hi." Matthew said, "Hi, Kitty." Olivia said, "Always, Mac, though I still want to kick you in the shin for the video." Bud said, "American Nazi?" Nope. I see where y'all going. Y'all see a couple people get deleted, so y'all want to say shit and try to get people to delete you. You're welcome, Ghostly. Like I said, if you're going to be in here, please be respectful and keep things on a positive note. It keeps everybody people are in here to enjoy the live. They don't really need to be trying to watch what people saying. So if you want to do stupid stuff, just go to another live and do there. We're actually here trying to have a good time. The Joker said, "What's up? Hello." Daryl said, "Gotta have memories." Bud said, "Please fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride." Well, we're gonna try, but we would appreciate it if everybody would be respectful. The Joker says, "What are you talking about?" It depends on what everybody wants to talk about. We talk about different things. Garbage says, see, there we go. There's another one. Matthew, thank you for the comment, though. It counts. Matthew said, get Randy back on morphine. There you go. Let's see. Bud says, are you a holy man? I'm right with my Lord, if that's what you're asking. See, Smith said, nice hair. Thank you. I worked hard on it. See, any good movies you've seen? I don't do a lot of movies. It gets wintertime. I watch when it gets dark and stuff, but we've been doing this YouTube thing, and between trying to help my fellow YouTubers out, I don't get to watch a lot of movies. Usually our TVs and computers are on helping everybody out. Let's see. Oh, Kitty said, how's Randy? He's good. Kitty, he's just ready to get out of that chair. We go Friday for him to get the x-ray to see if he's going to be able to get out of that chair and start trying to walk again. So we got our hopes up. Olivia says, Mac, I wanted to go for about the fact that my face looked like someone busted on me. Let's see, Lotus said, just go somewhere else. The Joker said, you should definitely watch American Assassin and watch it for the first time. It was pretty good. Lotus says, and stop molesting cats. Boss, you remind me of my dad. Okay. David said, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. Hope you are. Kitty said, meow. Thank you for the $2, but I do not agree with that. But like I said, we try not to do controversial subjects in here. And like I said, thank you for the $2, but we don't need. I disagree about the guns and capitalism. But it said, have you ever tried? No, I have not. Lotus says, no, we don't. Levi says, I'm not liking that. Levi says, because I strongly disagree. Well, I mean, it was worth $2 to him to try to get everybody to start disagreeing with it. So just let it go. Bad said, you're so funny. Got me over twinkling my cuckoo hairs. Oh, cool. I'm glad you think it's that funny. Lotus said, can we block Bud's nasty arms? Well, we got about 3 minutes. Just let it ride out, and it's he, like I said, it was worth $2 to him to try to say something to get everybody riled up. But if you don't let it get to you, I can just take the $2 and say appreciate it. Normally I like and heart it, but I can't do that because I disagree with the argument. So but that's what he's trying to do. I'm telling y'all, these people come in here and try to get your blood boiling. Don't let them. Just skip over them and don't read them and don't worry about them. Let them go. They just showing their ignorance, not ours. And we've had a pretty good live so far. This one actually went good. So it was only in the last 10 minutes that the stupid stuff started coming up. So we had a couple at the beginning, but but I still have the prefer Coke. There you go. See, typical American is all about the dollar. It's not about the dollar. Not at all. It's about good times. I didn't ask for that dollar. Lotus says they need punishing in the mouth. They need punched in the mouth. No, they just trying their best to get you riled up. It ain't gonna work though. Just like I said. No, I'm not doing the trying to get me to say the wrong stuff either. Matthew says I have had about enough of this cast. Let's see. Tyler says you be jizzing. Hey, why y'all doing these stupid comments? Can y'all hit the like button one time for me so I go to the next one? So that way, or no. I mean, you know, y'all come into the live and try to say stupid stuff to get people pissed off. At least give them a thumbs up. See, good. Thank God it was getting tired of Bud. Let's see. All right. It is, you ain't got to worry about it, Daryl. I'm going to end it here. Like I said, it's been, I come on a little bit late because Chester come in, but it is time for everybody to accept the dummies. Go over to Metal Art Custom and watch his premiere, and everybody keep talking there. Y'all have a good day, good night, and everything. And like I said, I appreciate everybody coming in. It was a better live tonight than yesterday. I feel a little better about it, and I did enjoy it. So thank y'all. Y'all remember, keep it silly and enjoy your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. Thank you.